Hi, Lancers. I'm sorry I couldn't be here today, but I wanted to make sure you had everything you needed to continue working on your Ancient Americas project. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few directions, let you know what needs to be accomplished today, and let you know where you can go for directions and when you need help. So first of all, your goal for today is to finish the research part of your project. So Green Day classes, you have today and then 3 more class periods to work on this project. So if you finish your research today, you'll have 3 class periods to put your project together. If your research needs to spill over a little bit into Friday, you should still have time to finish your project. Yellow Day classes, you have today and only 2 more class periods to finish this project. So you have 1 work day less. And that's because on Friday of next week, we have our celebration day, so we won't be having normal classes. So it's really important that you get the research done today, so you have 2 class periods to work on your project. Now, I will say for all classes, on Friday during the celebration day, during that time when you choose either dodgeball or games or reading, I am going to host a work session for that hour. So any student who wants some additional work time on that Friday, you'll have about an hour where you can come to my classroom and work and get this done before spring break. Because when we get back from spring break, we're moving on. So once again, today is our next full research day. Do your best to try to finish your research. And that means getting bullet points, getting information, getting details from at least 3 different sources. All right, so one thing I've done to make this a little bit easier, Yellow Day, you already know this, but Green Day, this will look a little different from you. I put everything you need for this project in one Google Classroom posting, and it's all on one document, okay? So no longer do I have that post here with all the different links to the resource pages. So everybody, here is where you go to move through your project. So everybody will open their computer and you'll go to the Ancient Americas project directions. And you're going to open this document. And let me just show you real quick. So on this document at the top, these are the links to all of your research resource pages. So if you click on this one, it'll take you to the page on our website where you can find the different resources if you're researching the Aztecs. And then we have the Maya and the Inca. All right, this right here is if you want to look again at the rubric to see how your research notes will be graded, you can click here. I will grade research notes when I get back. For any student who has not been here when I introduced this project, these 4 screencasts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, introduce you to the project. If you have no idea what's going on, this is where you go. You're going to watch these videos through in order. This is just a link to the assignment page that most of you already have in your notebook. If you were here when I introduced the project, but you weren't here last class period when we started this, you might want to consider, if you don't remember how to take your research notes and how to set them up and how to do them, you might want to consider watching this video on recording research notes and this one on how they'll be graded to remind you, because you want to collect them in the proper format. Okay, so all your resource links are here, directions for the project are here. You're going to continue to work on your research. So most of you started your research last class period and you're continuing to work your way through at least 3 total sources today. Let me do a really quick reminder for you. So, when you are taking your research notes, you have a note page set up like this. You're recording your details in the details column, and at the top, you're listing the source information, what book or website you got your information from. Okay? When you finish with one source, you're flipping the page and you're starting with a new source, listing the information and your details. And you should have at least 3 separate pages for 3 separate sources. Maybe you even have more. Our goal is at least 5 details from each source. If you cannot get 5 from one, you should make it up on another one by having more than 5. or add a fourth or a fifth source to look at, because some of our sources only have a small amount of information. All right, and just a quick reminder, when it comes to this source part here, you can find that on the poster on the front board or at the bottom of your resource page. Here is the source information that you copy depending on which resource you are using. So this part with the note-taking and with the sources is the one that could be most confusing for people. And I want to really encourage you to help each other out, because I know there are people in every class who have already taken well-organized notes on more than one source and they know how to do it. So let's really help each other out if you're confused. Okay, so let's say you finish all your notes today. You've looked at 3 different sources. If you want to move on to the project part, you are welcome to start moving in that direction. So you're just going to go back to this document. It has everything you need, and it says when you finish your research, watch these screencasts before beginning your project. So these are your directions. You need to watch this video about choosing your project and how your project will be graded. Make sure you watch that before you start. This is just a link to the project rubric. I talk about it in this video here. And then after you watch this and you've picked your project, which one you're going to do, you need to then watch this video on reviewing your research notes. So that's about how to take all those notes you have, to review them and figure out how you're going to organize them into a project. Okay, so if you're starting your project today, go for it if you feel ready. If you're doing yours on the computer, like a ThingLink or a Google Drawing or Google Slides, that's pretty simple. You'll just create a new Google Drawing or create a new Google Slideshow, and you're going to work on that. And later we'll attach it to the assignment in Google Classroom. If you're doing your project on paper, like a poster or a book, I've left a variety of supplies out for you on top of the sandbox. So you're welcome to use any of that paper and to use our markers and colored pencils. I don't want any students taking the big poster board yet unless I already put your name on a sticky note and put that sticky note on one of the boards for you, because I've talked to you about the poster board. Anybody else, if you want to use a poster board, you can spend time preparing, like coming up with a plan for your project before you actually put it on the poster board. But if you want to get started on a paper product, you're welcome to get any supplies that you need from the front of the room. So hopefully that explains everything and answers all your questions. So a couple more things. One, you, like the last class period, you are welcome to listen to music while you work if you think that will help you and keep you focused. But just remember, your music has to be in the background. We don't want to see it on your screens. Don't get distracted by it. This is your work day, okay? So if you stay on task and you use this time, you should be able to finish this project in class. And then lastly, maybe before you all get to work, we could identify a few people in class who could be kind of a class helper if people need it. What I'm looking for are people who already during last class period really feel like they understand how to take the notes, like how to list the sources, where to find the source stuff, and what to write where. So if we could identify a few students in class, along with our guest teacher, who maybe like students could go to if you're a little confused about this, I think that could also be really helpful. Okay, good luck. Like I said, use your class time wisely. Don't waste this day because we're not getting any more. These are due before spring break. And I will be back next class period to help you continue working on your project.